Kendrick Wells, somebody who was tight with the rapper, later spoke on how strange this whole situation felt.
In that situation, he was never the leader of violence, but that's where he was at. And I think that was different. That struck me odd that he was leading that. That shows that he was trying to show somebody he's with this. He's with you. Not he's in the gang, but he's with you.
See, Wells understood something that a lot of people missed. This wasn't really about Tupac being some hardcore gangster. This was about loyalty, about proving to his death row family that he was down for whatever.
We know he wasn't a gang member, but he was influenced by being the first to bomb. You know what I'm saying? When somebody came up to him and said, "We got an issue," which they never should have did. Pac was $1 million nigga. Should have never let him nowhere near that. But the mentality was, if your homie fighting, you fighting. Everybody knows that.
The beatdown got broken up by hotel security, but the damage was already done. Orlando Anderson, bruised up and embarrassed in front of hundreds of people, got escorted away from the scene. But anybody who knows how the streets operate understood that this wasn't the end of nothing. In the world these young cats lived in, respect was everything, and getting disrespected this publicly, especially by somebody as high profile as Tupac, meant retaliation was coming. After the whole MGM situation, Tupac and the death row crew headed back to the Luxor Hotel where they were posted up. Pac switched from his orange silk shirt into a green basketball jersey and had what would turn out to be his last conversation with his fiancée, Kidada Jones. In a move that might have saved her life, he told her to stay at the hotel instead of rolling with them to Club 662. Looking back, you gotta wonder, was it intuition telling him something was off, or just coincidence that kept the woman he loved away from what was about to go down? At 10:50 p.m., Tupac and Suge Knight dipped from the Luxor in a black 1996 BMW 750 IL, with Suge behind the wheel and Pac riding shotgun. They were rolling with a convoy of about 10 cars carrying death row personnel, including Tupac's bodyguard, Frank Alexander. This detail becomes crucial when you understand what happened next, because Frank Alexander would later reveal that he wasn't supposed to be in a separate whip that night.
I literally had my hand on the back door, opening the back door. And Pac stopped me and turned and said, "Hey Frank, here's the keys to Kidada's car. You go drive with the outlaws so you could be our designated driver and drive us back after we leave the club tonight, from drinking."
Alexander would later think about this moment with some serious chills, realizing how close he came to getting caught up in the crossfire. The convoy cruised through the neon-lit Vegas streets, and around 11:05 p.m., they got pulled over by Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department bike patrol officers for bumping music too loud and for not having license plates visible. The music they were blasting was from Tupac's unreleased album, The Don Columinati, The 7-Day Theory, tracks that the world wouldn't even hear until after he was gone. The cops didn't write them up though, and they got sent on their way. What makes this moment even more haunting is that a famous photograph, known as the last photo of Tupac, was snapped by Leonard Jefferson at a red light, showing Pac smiling in the passenger seat. In this picture, he looks relaxed, happy even, completely unaware that he had less than 10 minutes left on this earth. At exactly 11:15 p.m. PDT, while posted up at a red light at the intersection of East Flamingo Road and Koval Lane in front of the Maxim Hotel, Tupac was chopping it up with two females in a car next to them, inviting them to come through to Club 662. It was such a regular moment, a young cat macking on some shorties at a traffic light, making plans for the rest